A little girl named Riel is jigging to fiddle music. It must be the Métis Tent. Here at the TRC's kickoff event, Métis people are gathering to pay homage to the victims and the survivors of residential school.
In a sense, the story of Manitoba here, it starts with the Métis.
The Métis have an incredible culture here, and why not? It's partly European and it's partly First Nation. I think it's the best of two worlds.
The Métis people were not an official part of the Indian Act and so were not forced to go to residential school, but many of them did.
We're told 10 to 12% of all the students were Métis that went to the survivors' school. About 80% were First Nation. But in that 10 to 12% of the Métis, they have their stories. So the focus of our tent was to tell the Métis stories about their residential schools, about the day schools and other activities they did, and at the same time to celebrate.
Their high energy and lively spirit means the Métis promote healing and reconciliation somewhat differently than most.
So I think music and the arts and the culture are going to help survivors and other survivors, non-survivors like me, to turn the page and for life to go on.
Well, I think the only way to heal is through the arts, is through the music. The Métis have survived that way. When you had a disaster, they gathered together and they partied. And I think we still do that. You know, it's important because if you don't, you fall into depression, then you die and you're eliminated. So you don't want to, you want to survive. And I think the way of healing, if we talk about truth and reconciliation, there's also the healing portion. And what we're doing here is we're trying to offer healing, and it's through music.
Ecco,